Pennsylvania will make a late decision and keep it and get upended. Ruled down on the field before that ball came out. All right, DJ, time for our first edition today of Shocked or Not Shocked. Colgate, 2 first downs in the first quarter.
I am not shocked. You're talking about coming into this type of environment. You have to figure out the noise level, figure out your communication. It's going to take a quarter or so to really get into a groove. So I am not shocked that this Colgate offense has struggled at the beginning of this ball game.
Colgate.
Undercuts the corner route and does a great job of laying out. And James Hendrick is a guy that played quarterback. So you're talking about a guy that be able to diagnose and recognize things faster than maybe most defensive backs can. But the ability to be able to come down with this football and stretch out and lay out for it.
Did he get it, though?
Ooh, yeah, that's something to look at there.
We've already had one key review on a long pass to Dallas Freeman. There was no indisputable video evidence to overturn that previous play. And right now, we're not having play stopped at the moment. Oh, Kevin Boitman is holding on to see if the replay booth wants to take an extra look at this.
The ruling of an interception on the previous play is under further review.
Okay. We'll step aside as Mark Ashley, the replay official, takes a look. Will it be our first takeaway? We'll find out.
Hey, quick question. Do you like paying for things that you don't need?
No.
And do you want to get things you love for free?
Who wouldn't?
Exactly.
Right.
Dad,
Oh.
Apple Music.
You get
Ashley, a replay official. Was this an interception? Was this not? From North Dakota State's James Hendricks. The call ruled an interception on the field, and we go back to those 3 little words, DJ, indisputable video evidence.
Yeah, and I think you go back to it and you look at this ball moves. He catches the football. Well, right there you can see the ball kind of roll over. Called interception on the field, but that ball looked like it had more movement than the previous one that we reviewed earlier with Dallas Freeman.
It's the second major play to go to a review. Earlier there was a catch or no catch by Freeman that looked on replay like probably a catch, but there was not indisputable evidence to overturn it, and it stayed an incomplete pass.
And Kevin, we've had a couple different views to watch it during the break, and I think we were both under the understanding that that ball moved a little bit more than even Freeman's catch did, or non-catch. And right there you can see the ball as he starts to come up.
That's the best look we've seen. That slowed down look. As it stands, it's Hendrick's 8th career interception. Both these teams so good, DJ, in the turnover department, both at +16 coming into today.
And that's where both teams hurt you. When you turn the football over and you give a team a short field like this. If this happens to stay as an interception, it gives North Dakota State great field position in a position where they can move the football. And you can see right here, it looks like the ball is on the ground right there. There's his left elbow, and here's the ball right up under it. And then once he rolls over, the ball is constantly moving. But I don't know, Kev. We're already 0 for 1 right now. What do you think?
I mean, on that freeze frame, it does look like the ball hits the ground before he gains control. You can, of course, control it through the ground. But we go back to the call on the field being an interception, and you need a conclusive look to overturn that.
Cole, any chance from your vantage point down there you can see that ball move at all?
I thought I saw it move, and then they showed the replay on the big screen in here, and when the first thing that caught my eye was that ball did move a little bit. So as Hendricks hit the ground, I thought I saw the ball sort of move and dislodge just a tad.
And this is a huge part of this ball game already. It's still early in the second quarter, but you're talking about the chance to be able to go up 14 points possibly if you're North Dakota State. But I think North Dakota State knows it as well as they have their defense on the field.
After further review, the pass hit the ground before it was possessed. Therefore, it is an incomplete pass. It will be 3rd down and 10 to go at the 35-yard line.
All right, partner. We're back in the winner's circle. Long review. Looked like the officials got it right. 5.5-minute review. And Colgate brings the offense back out for a 3rd and 10.
And you come back out and you get the luxury of 3rd and long with this crowd.
They were restless for that review, weren't they?
Cole, what's the decibels right now?
We're at 95 right now, guys. And climbing.
A run play on 3rd and 10. Derek Tuska in there for the stop on Holland after a gain of 6.
That part of Brenneman's game is so good. He reads and manipulates the mesh so well. Not going to pick up 1st down yardage there, but continuing to sort of do what these coaches have talked about, survive not only the first quarter, but the first half of this football game against a team that has been the perennial national champion since 2011.
And I think you still have to feel good about yourself. Right now, where you are, you're only down 7 in a hostile environment. Things haven't really gone your way. You haven't been good on 3rd down, but you're fighting, you're clawing. You're still in this ball game, and this is exactly where Colgate wanted to be at this point.
They just wanted to survive the first quarter. That's what the coaches kept harping yesterday. Shepard from his own 10 got a lane. Darius Shepard tripped up. Flag is down at the 12. Jacob Asarco looked like he might have had a touchdown-saving tackle, but there's a flag all the way back near the catch.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 21 on the return team. Half the distance from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
Jalen Allison with a penalty.
Well, you see exactly why they like Darius Shepard returning kicks. Unfortunate penalty, but it just shows you the ability he has when he has the football in his hands, returning the punt. Almost taking that thing all the way to the house.
Well, the first drive looked easy for North Dakota State, 96 yards in 4 plays, but Colgate has held him to a couple of punts since. Last week, 6 for 6 to start against Montana State.
Well, the thing that's changed already is they're not allowing that big play. We saw that on that first drive, Cole. They were giving up chunks of yardage. Now they're playing more coverage and not allowing these North Dakota State to hit those big plays.
Instead of the 41, Bison started their own 7. Done on the stretch.
Boy, big block by 68, Zach Johnson from his right tackle position. Cool thing about this Bison offensive line, they go by the Rams, and they've gone by that since the early 90s. It's sort of a mantra that has stuck with this team for over a decade. Tight-knit group, but they're all extremely athletic. They do different things well. They can all pull. Coach telling us yesterday that our center, our guards, our tackles can all pull. A lot of teams just have guards that can pull. All 5 of these guys can get out in space.
Offensive line with a couple of redshirt seniors in the middle. An experienced group leading the way for Dunn. And a first down up to the 19.
We talk about, you just heard Cole talk about how athletic these linemen are. Well, the next best thing is, yeah, we have this stretch zone. Watch how many guys get up to the second level. Getting blocks on Hall. Hall is getting blocked 5-6 yards down the field. Their ability to be able to get around and move and then be able to push guys to that second, third level is what makes this offense, especially when they run the football, so special.
A bunch of these kids grew up playing 9-man football. North Dakota, rural Minnesota kids. A run block again, and not much doing here for Anderson with only a yard.
Kevin, you think about those principles. You play 9-man football, you have fewer offensive linemen. So that's more offensive linemen at the high school level that go through their careers spending time in one-on-one situations. They're not getting help with combo blocks next to a guard or combo blocks next to a tackle. And Coach Kleinman told us yesterday, a lot of times they'll get those younger offensive line in here that played 9-man football, and they look next to them, they got a guard and tackle. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to act because they're not used to having that playing 9-man football.
Having a little help. Whenever somebody says they're not used to having help, but it brings up a good point of these guys understanding the importance of winning your one-on-ones, and that's what they do special.
Play clock was down to 1, and Chris Kleiman gets the timeout just in time.
Timeout. North.
Say hello to the BravaJet mopping robot from iRobot. Its precision jet spray and vibrating cleaning head loosen and scrub stains, all while navigating kitchens, bathrooms, and those hard-to-reach places. You and BravaJet from iRobot. Better together.
The United States Postal Service makes more holiday deliveries to homes than anyone else in the country, with one notable exception.
The moment you realize your fridge is trying to tell you something.
At Lowe's, we sell more appliances than anyone else, so we can help you pick the right one.
Shop Lowe's and get up to 35% off select appliance special values.
Pain wants to stop you, block you, like that's gonna happen. Icy hot. Icy to dull, hot to relax. Rise from pain. Icy hot.
2nd and 10 for North Dakota State. Out of the timeout. 9 Eastern tonight, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, streaming live on the ESPN app. Top Rank Boxing features a 3-time world champ and current WBA lightweight title holder Vasily Lomachenko against the WBO lightweight champ Jose Pedraza in a unification bout. The undercards start at 6 Eastern, 5 Central on ESPN+.
Think you got any chance with those guys you got in the ring with them?
Maybe in a curling ring. I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised by your curling skills yesterday.
Hey, man, I'm a quick learner, man.
Pleasantly unsurprised by mine. Here's Brooks trying to shift away. Colgate's doing a much better job up front. Brooks only with a yard. 3rd and long coming up.
That was one of those spots there against the three-man front where Colgate's going to show movement and the linebackers are going to shoot different gaps. It's very difficult to adjust to as an offensive lineman because mentally, you see a guy slant across your face, DJ, you want to stay with him. However, that replacement linebacker is coming in the gap that you're intended to be in, have to be there to take him on.
Number one objective for him is to be able to move around and cause some type of confusion for North Dakota's offensive line. And then setting the edge has been good as well.
Stick, pressured, hit got out of it. He'll try to run for it and get run down from behind by Dylan DeJulius. Another third down stop for Colgate.
And the great thing about this particular play is they get pressure on him early. And you talk about bringing the blitz, a five-man pressure, and one guy gets passed off. This is a great job by Abdul to come through and force the issue of stick to run, and then now you rally to the football. And that's one thing that Darami Sarami talked about is when we turn on the tape, we want to see all 11 guys swarming to the football.
Darami Soiree calls for the fair catch and lost the ball. North Dakota State has it. There is a flag down as well. Jackson Brown came up with a football.
Now, maybe the only question is, did somebody get too close to him? Did they give him a chance to catch the football here? Looks like they gave him plenty of room.
Michael Tutsi, 25, was the first player to run by Darami Soiree. He pulled up.
Kick catching interference. Number 25 on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the start of the foul. First down.
Wow. And that's a big break. That's a huge break for Colgate here. You don't want to run right by him.
He didn't touch him, DJ.
And he still had 5 yards before the football got there. And you can see why this crowd is not liking that call, and you see Coach Cliver doesn't like that call either.
Third special teams penalty against North Dakota State. And that means with the penalty yardage tacked on, Colgate is in Bison territory for the first time. Brannaman got away from pressure, low throw incomplete, intended for Owen Biscaglia.
Guys, think back to what this North Dakota State defensive staff told us in meetings, that they never saw Colgate start very far from midfield. Their defense has done an excellent job of giving them great field position this entire season. Continues here today.
Really the first time we've seen it so far, Cole, because of the penalty with Josh Hayes, the injured player for North Dakota State. One of their starting corners is down after that play. Hayes, the true sophomore, being looked at. Check on him when we return.
You should see me. Dwayne Haskins, Ohio State. Kyler Murray, Oklahoma. Tua Tagovailoa, Alabama. The Heisman Trophy ceremony tonight at 8 on ESPN.
LeBron versus Steph and KD. These guys may be kings on the court, but there's only one GOAT. That's greatest of all time. Call me when you've been running the game for 2,000 years.
Don't stop, oh baby, don't be still. I gotta move, don't take away.
Tap with your Capital One Saver MasterCard, the simple, secure way to pay. It only takes a moment to start something priceless.
Keep on moving along.
Your projects have met their match. Introducing the Work Switch Driver. With 2 rotating chucks, you can switch between bits in a second and get your projects done twice as fast. Say goodbye to all the hassle of an ordinary drill. Switch in a second from drilling to driving, Phillips to flat, drill bit to paddle bit, screwdriver to socket. Power through your projects faster and easier with the most innovative drill driver available, the Works Switch Driver. Get yours today.
Do I, Poseidon, king of the ocean, eat fish sticks? Is water wet? I only trust Gordon's, made with wild-caught Alaskan pollock. And wild is Poseidon's middle name. Just kidding. It's actually Brian. Trust the Gortons, fisherman!
Matt Entz, defensive coordinator here at North Dakota State. His team has come close to a couple of takeaways. They've had one negated due to a penalty, one negated due to a replay review. As it stands, the turnover battle is 0-0.
On the first play.
You can see with this offense.
They'll stretch you. You see receiver towards the bottom of your screen. He's always 2 yards from the sideline.
That's done. Hit hard and driven out of bounds. Alec Wisniewski might be their biggest hitter. Second leading tackler for Colgate, sets up 3rd and long.
You go back to what Abu Durame Suare told us in meetings yesterday. You asked him, Kevin, what's the one thing that people should know about your defense? And he said 11 hats will be getting to the football in every single play. There has been no issue with effort or swarming or pursuit drill from this Colgate defense today.
And the other thing about it is they said they didn't come here to prove people wrong. They came here to prove themselves right. So that means they're blocking out all the noise on the outside and playing their style of football.
And held the Bison 0 for 3 on 3rd down today. Stick, pressure picked up well, delivers a clean ball for a 1st down. It's the true freshman Phoenix Sproles with just his 3rd catch of the year.
Well, you see exactly what makes Easton Stick so special. The opportunity to be able to stand in the pocket and deliver the football. Playing man coverage on the outside, steps right into it as Nick Wheeler is coming down on him and delivers a strike for a big completion that keeps this drive going.
Better give that O-line some credit for that pocket, DJ.
Cole, you know I love the O-line, baby. Come on.
It's the first 3rd down conversion for either team today. Comes with around 6 to go in the 2nd quarter. Stick, here comes Wheeler, the Colgate sack leader. He gets him to the ground. Nick Wheeler with his career sack number 23 and a half and his 9th of the year.
And you see why this is the #1 rated defense in the FCS with their ability to get to the passer. Nick Wheeler has done this for years. And this is a defensive front that, for the most part, is getting home with just 3 or 4 guys. And Nick Wheeler has continued to do it. You see the size on Nick Wheeler, but the motor that he plays with, the energy, the effort. He never stops.
Yeah. Little undersized, right? 6'2", 255. 2nd and 21. This is Freeman. Made a couple of defenders miss. Cuts it upfield across the 20. 3rd down and short coming after the big hitter to Freeman. 19 yards on the catch and throw.
Hey, you talk about yards after catch. Nothing but a simple stick route. It's a 5-yard route. And Dallas Freeman does a great job of making guys miss in the open space. And now he helps his team out with a very manageable 3rd down after the big sack. But this is why you talk about so many weapons for this team. Dallas Freeman, who we saw earlier, had the big play that was overturned. Just get these guys in space, and it makes it hard on defenses.
It's a 3rd down run for a 1st down, and an ankle tackle, the only thing to stop Bruce Anderson from getting in. Wisniewski hung on for dear life after a gain of 13.
Talk about the downhill midline run. This is exactly who North Dakota State wants to be. Tough, physical up front, and you see the crease there to get through. This offensive line is probably one of the more underrated ones around the country, but they do such a good job of getting to that 2nd level, but also creating those rush lanes.
Fullback Brock Robbins to the left of Stick. He'll block for the back, Anderson. Wisniewski in the haul and on the stop. Cole, we talked to Paul Schaffner yesterday, the Colgate defensive coordinator. You asked him, when's the last time you saw 12 or 22 personnel on film, not counting an option? Took him a while to answer. He said, do you have a calendar?
He literally laughed at us. And 12, 22 personnel, meaning 2 tight ends or 2 tight ends and 2 running backs. The North Dakota State staff told us they couldn't find clips of this defense defending it. It's literally not on film anywhere.
Stick. 2nd and goal, kept it, and T.J. Hall plugs the gap after a gain of 1.
Well, you can see why this defense is only giving up 7 points a game right now because of, you had a couple big plays, but they have the bend but don't break style of defense. And just because you got down here don't mean you have to get in. And we talked with defensive coordinator Paul Shaver. He said, field goals are okay down here. We don't mind that.
Two fullbacks in, Robbins and Malmstrom on the 10th play of this drive. Malmstrom the lead blocker. Stick keeps it. Wide open for the touchdown is his tight end, Ben Ellefson. That's 13 catches on the year for Ellefson, 8 for touchdowns.
Yeah, Coach Messingham talked about Ellefson yesterday in our meeting and said he is one of the more dynamic guys in our red zone, has been a big red zone threat for us. And Colgate went all out in on the run. That's a great play call there.
Extra point knocked through by Cam Peterson. There was a lot of bend for Colgate. They eventually break.
Nice job here of just getting his shoulders around and complete a nice, easy touchdown. Bison up by 14.
So a tree falls in your brand new car and totals it. And as if that wasn't bad enough, now your insurance won't replace it outright because of depreciation.
For 4, 60 yards and a touchdown on that last drive. North Dakota State scores off the 4th down stop with a touchdown caught by Ben Ellefson on a 3rd and goal. Uphill battle for Dan Hunt's team gets a little bit steeper. There is Lance Dunn, North Dakota State's leading rusher, headed into the locker room. The only bad news right now for the Bison. Ben Ellefson, the touchdown recipient in the middle of that offensive area for North Dakota State after an efficient 65-yard touchdown drive. Colgate wanted to drag this game out, keep it close after one, be within striking distance going into the half. This is a rather seismic drive now, down 2 scores. Owen Rocket with a fair catch. And we check in with Adnan Virk back in the studios. Adnan.
Well, Kevin Brown coming up at the half. We'll talk about Heisman hopefuls. That's right. Is it going to be Kyler Murray, Tua Tagovailoa, or Dwayne Haskins? Trevor Match will tell you. And also Army-Navy, always a special event for college football fans. Looking forward to that game. Kevin, back to you. Enjoying this first half. Not nearly as loud here as it is at the Fargo Dome.
What? What was that, Adnan?
Man, we couldn't hear you.
Huh?
The decibels are so high in here right now.
I'm sure whatever it was brilliant. Brent Brenneman just 3 completions in this first half. And the play clock has expired.
Before the flag was thrown, timeout, Colgate, their second of the half. It will be 30 seconds.
Kev, we talk about critical drives in this first half. This may be just as critical because if you're able to hold on to this football for the last 2 minutes and 27 seconds, then you go into the locker room only down 14, playing probably good football. You would feel good about yourselves because we've seen times where this North Dakota State team has overwhelmed teams when they come in here, but to only be down 14 would be good going into the halftime because North Dakota State gets the ball at halftime. You don't want to give them the football back here with 2 minutes to go, and they have a possible 2-for-1 situation.
Bison do have 2 timeouts remaining. Colgate just 2 first downs in that half. Holland inside. Brenneman trying to push there. His quarterback in there looking for a little forward momentum. And it's a gain of only a couple. Levi Jordaheim, the former walk-on senior captain, with a stop.
Yeah, I expect Grant to try to take this clock all the way down. I mean, there's no reason to snap this football unless you're trying to get down and score. And obviously, I know they want to get down and score, but you can see Coach out there really looking at that clock.
How aggressive would you be?
I would not be as aggressive right now because of the previous 2 drives of what just happened.
I'll snap it with 12. And Holland will run up the middle and look to pick up the first down. Robbie Grimsley got the stop, and it is a first down with 1:45
And that's
to go.
what you needed there. You got a first down. Now you can get into a more hurry-up offense if you want to and begin to be aggressive. What I really liked, though, was a throw on first down 2 drives ago. If you want to throw the football, here's a good chance to do it.
Brenneman will do just that and complete it. Caught by Trey Kane, who breaks a tackle, and it's back-to-back first downs for Colgate, which had just 2 in the whole game before those last 2 plays.
And now the momentum starts to kick up for Colgate. Now you start to find some things on the outside. Guys breaking tackles, starting to believe that they can move the football is important.
The sophomore from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Just a couple of games with a shoulder injury recently. Felt strong in the second half last week. And airs this one high for Kane.
Give a lot of credit there to number 95, Caleb Butler, right there. He got so much pressure that forced Grant to get outside the pocket. He literally just put the left tackle in his hip pretty much in Javion Queen.
He's a true freshman at left tackle for Colgate. And a great job this year in for Jovan Wolford, who got hurt in the opener. Alex Matthews on the ground, smashing his way to midfield, a gain of 3. Teams are still hanging on to their timeouts, or in Colgate's case, it's timeouts.
I think both teams right now are pretty content going into halftime, unless Colgate hits some kind of big play on third down. But the last thing you want to do here, if you're Colgate, is turn the football over.
Where are you looking here?
Well, they're playing zone coverage, so you want to just find something underneath.
Brenneman slipped, and he is thrown down. Derek Tuska got him. And there's the timeout with 16 seconds to go on Tuska's 4th sack.
And the pressure, watch the pocket collapse here. The pocket instantly collapsed from the middle. And that's what the most uncomfortable spot is for a quarterback, when you get pushed from the middle and then you have great contain on the outside by Tuska.
Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central on ESPN. Join us for Sunday NFL Countdown before the Cowboys and Eagles. And they'll be paying attention to that one here in Fargo. See how Jalen Smith overcame a devastating injury to become one of the league's top linebackers. Plus, Rex Ryan sits down with Khalil Mack and the Bears to see how that defense compares to his father's legendary 85 Bears defense. The former Fargo legend, Carson Wentz, number 2 pick out of North Dakota State, and still a mentor and a close friend of Easton Sticks. The 2 keep in touch. Easton said they just talked Thursday night.
He said he learned so much from Carson Wentz, being around him, watching how he prepared. I just love the one thing he said about Carson Wentz was, when you come to the line of scrimmage, always have a plan. And Easton definitely looks that way.
Hunt is out of bounds, and that should set up one final knee or run for NDSU after a kick of 28. Remember, North Dakota State, because Dan Hunt took the ball to start, will get it to begin the second half. Well, the first half for Carson Wentz's former understudy has been
pretty efficient. Yeah, pretty efficient. Hasn't turned the football over. Has distributed the football really well. A lot of guys have been a part of this offense and made contributions. And this is what you expect from a guy who's played this much football This environment, the playoffs, he's just so solid.
Bruce Anderson. Anderson hit by who else but TJ Hall to close out the first half. 2 touchdowns for North Dakota State, one early and one late. Pretty physical game. Colgate came to play, but the Raiders held off the scoreboard 30 minutes in. Maybe the 2 top defenses in FCS, and so far it is advantage Bison. Chris Kleiman is downstairs with Cole Kubalik. Cole.
Coach Kleiman, your defense was lights out in the first half. Why were they so successful?
Well, I think we're seeing things pre-snap pretty well. We're disguising some stuff, and our guys are playing really hard. It's a really good football team we're playing, but I thought we had a good first 30 minutes.
You've been very efficient, very balanced on offense. What else would you like to see from that group in the second half?
Well, we think we can still get some explosive plays, and that's something that we're going to talk about. We get the ball to start the second half. That'll be a key drive for us.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
14-0 North Dakota State has the lead. Looking to win a 19th game in a row. Time to send you out to the studio with Adnan Virk for the halftime report.
All right, Kevin, DJ, Cole, thank you very much, fellas. This game featuring 2 of the top 3 teams in scoring defense in FCS this season, so we shouldn't be surprised. It's only 14-0 at the half. Alongside Trevor Matich, I'm Adnan Virk. Great to have you along with us. You know, the Bison have been a powerhouse here for a while, Trev. What is it about this team that stands out to you?
And then they remind me in some ways of the New England Patriots in that they are relentlessly businesslike. They know exactly what they want to do. There are no false steps. There's no wasted motion. And they play with a frenetic energy all the way through the whistle. They're a joy to watch.
Yeah, so far they look to be in control of this game. What has to happen for Colgate to get on the board in the second half?
They have to make something happen now on offense. And I think what they've got to do is start to throw the ball a little bit deeper because the line of scrimmage is being swarmed by this Bison defense.
North Dakota State has won 18 straight games overall, so a tall test there for Colgate. Some highlights here for you. Let's check out what's happening right now. It's exclusively over on ESPN+. D3 semifinal, Johns Hopkins versus Mount Union. Trevor Cox heads up interception, and Trevor, he goes 90 yards in the pick 6.
I tell you, he's got an escort down there as well. That's the thing. When you're the defense, you want that pick 6. You go to that effort and you get down the field.
No doubt about it. Later in the second, D'Angelo Fulford gets sacked. Robert Fletcher, the scoop and score.
And that goes the other way. I tell you, defenses want to make sure that the other defense doesn't upstage them. And they talk about that. They got a touchdown. We get a touchdown.
No question. You want a takeaway? I'll get a takeaway, too. Johns Hopkins down 14-6 after the missed extra point. And we'll see what happens with regards to that game. When we come back, though, we turn our attention towards the Heisman being awarded tonight. Who wins and why? We'll tell you next.
We're transforming this home to show the new Keurig K-Cafe brewer is so easy, it makes any house a coffee house. Hansky's Coffee House is open! It couldn't be simpler. Just pop that in for a coffee, or brew a shot and froth fresh milk for a latte or cappuccino. So easy.
Delicious, really good.
Well, how much do you spend on coffee drinks?
$20 a week.
Ooh, that's a latte money.
This will save me so much money.
2 cordoncinos, like a cappuccino. I got
Just
it.
a little bit sweeter.
Got it.
All right.
Bring the love, people! Not a bad first day.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender. Or the color of your skin. Or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Much was made, Trevor, about the fact the first quarters he got off to a flying start, and after that, very difficult for the opposition to catch up.
Yeah, I tell you, when you watch him on tape, Adnan, you see two things really jump off. One is the great things that he does. The other is the crazy things that he makes defenses to do in an attempt to try to slow him down. Now, when he first burst onto the scene in last year's national championship game against Georgia, the Bulldogs didn't really know what to think about that big arm, so they freaked out. This is not a Hail Mary situation, but they got a defender in the end zone.
You got four guys over there, so all of a sudden he says, you know what? I got guys wide open right here.
And that creates so much space. Well, this year, defenses didn't want to repeat that, but they went to extremes anyway. This is Ole Miss. Third down, 10 guys at the line of scrimmage. They figure, hey, we'll fool him. We'll make him think it's a big blitz. He won't be able to burn this.
And so much for that because he's got a perfect throw right down the middle.
He just can't burn this guy. Now, LSU figured, okay, we're going to split the difference, go man coverage. The problem in man coverage is that the defenders are looking at the receivers, not the quarterback, and they can't see when he takes off and runs. So now two guys split the field, one guy's left, and he doesn't even know two is running.
And with this kind of speed and open space, Tagovailoa did this so often this season, burning the opposition in impressive fashion. As for Kyler Murray, who many think could be the favorite to win after the way he played down the stretch, 51 touchdowns he was responsible for this season, second most in OU history behind Sam Bradford. What is it about his game?
You know, it's the same thing as with Tua. They're so similar in so many ways that he does great things, but defenses have a vain attempt to try to stop him by going to extremes as well. Now, it starts with his speed. This is borderline hilarious, Adnan. Guy pulls the wrong way. They block each other. Nobody gets the guy at the point of attack. But it turns out Kyler doesn't need that guy blocked.
And defenses fear this first. They know they cannot allow Kyler Murray to do this to them.
So they end up going to extremes on the other end with the pass rush, slowing it down way too much to try to keep him in the pocket. Now, I get the point, but this is ridiculous. I mean, he can order a pizza and have it delivered by the time he throws this ball.
So plenty of time here. Like I said, 6.8 seconds, easy pickings. What about when he's actually pressured?
What about it? This is my favorite incompletion. And it's not just because of where the ball goes. It's because of what happens before he throws it. He gets crushed, talk about pressure, by a defensive lineman. But look at where the ball ends up. It's almost like the coach said, hey, Kyler, I want you to hit Hollywood Brown in the tooth. And Kyler says, okay, coach, which tooth do you want me to hit? Both of these guys can attack. No matter what extreme you take it to, these guys will find a way to win.
How do you feel to be Dwayne Haskins? Single-season passing records in yards and touchdowns, but the feeling is going into tonight, he's going to be also ranked. He doesn't have a chance to win. How can that be?
He had a Heisman-worthy season this year, Adnan. Part of the problem, though, is that he doesn't have the wheels that the other two guys have. And so you see big highlights throwing from all three, big highlights running from Tua and Kyler, but not from Dwayne.
Well, who do you like to win?
I like Kyler, and the reason is not Tua's fault. His defense was so good that all year long, he has not had to perform under the pressure of losing a game if the offense bogs down. Kyler Murray had to perform under that pressure time and time and time again. So you have to separate him somehow, and that's how I separate.
Well, Murray's total QBR 96, the highest in the 15 seasons since the metric was created. We'll see what happens tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. When we come back, though, we'll talk about Army-Navy, always a special event, and the college football calendar.
Christmas trees try so hard. Lights and ornaments and little choo-choo trains, come on. The best trees, they kind of only need two things. Peanut butter and chocolate. Not sorry, Reese's.
When you're good at sports, you have a trophy case. And when you're good at subs, you have a deli case. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Juggling all the things we do is a challenge.
But hey, it's a fun challenge.
And our Tempur-Pedic helps us make it all work.
It gives us the best night's sleep ever. I recommend my Tempur-Pedic to everybody.
The most highly recommended bed in America just got better. Now more rejuvenating, more pressure relieving than ever before. Just in time for the holiday season, give yourself or those you love most the gift of sleep. Make the most of your holidays and nights with Tempur-Pedic. Find your exclusive retailer today at TempurPedic.com.
I'm Dak. If you're like me, you don't get much downtime, which is why I'm shooting a soup commercial while training. Chunky soup is packed with hearty meat and veggies, so when I do find time to eat, it is oh so good. Campbell's Chunky. Soup that eats like a meal.
I love you.
Prove it.
And you? What would you do for love? Miss Dior by Christian Dior.
There's a reason we recommend you order your sub with the juice. It's good. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA's consent is prohibited.
That people can watch, where everybody that's out there playing would offer their lives for everybody that's watching.
The men on both sides of the ball, we're doing something special. It's more than a game.
80, 90,000 people screaming the entire game, half of them against you, half of them for you. It's a rivalry unlike any other.
This is really the Service Academy Super Bowl.
The cool thing about this rivalry, when it's all said and done, there's things going on in this world that all of our armed services are going to protect us.
The 119th meeting between these teams in a series that began in 1890. Army Black Knights trying to beat the Navy midshipmen in 3 consecutive seasons for the first time since a 5-year stretch from 1992 to 1996. The Black Knights haven't been favored against Navy since 2001, and each of the last 4 meetings have been decided by 7 points or fewer. The game is coming up at 3 o'clock Eastern. Not Army or Navy, but back when you were playing against the Service Academy, what was that experience like?
I hated playing against Air Force when I played for BYU every year. 4 years, and it's because I hated my opponents. I hated them during those 3 hours of the game. Yeah. But I couldn't hate Air Force. I respected them too much. I loved them for what they were doing. And so when I played against them, I couldn't bring up that fury that I needed to play at my best. And that's because of so much respect. Now, that's Air Force. It's the same way with Army and Navy. These are special men. And I hope everybody gets a chance to interact with some of these guys at some point at their academies.
It's commendable all the way around. Army number 22, by the way, in the AP poll, so good season for them, while Navy's trying to avoid their first 10-loss season in over a decade. As for the game that you are currently watching, it's been all North Dakota State so far. This is Ty Brooks' 26-yard touchdown, second touchdown of the FCS playoffs. He only had 2 in the regular season. We're back with more right after this.
Winter nasal congestion. Is it a cold, sinus pressure, allergies? For all of them, there's Allegra D, a maximum strength decongestant plus a powerful non-drowsy antihistamine for 24-hour relief. This winter, the answer is Allegra D.
For those who are driven by purpose, who are building others instead of just wealth, giving back and never giving up, TIAA will help you live your definition of success, whether you have $500 or $5 million. Investing, advice, banking, retirement. TIAA. Start today at TIAA.org.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Get someone a cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy.
But
it's on us to intervene. Because we can.
Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
All right, winner of the game that you are currently watching will be taking on South Dakota State and Kennesaw State, winner in the FCS semifinals. That game is coming up on ESPN 3 under 20 minutes from now. That's the game you're currently watching, though. 14-0 for the Bison. Easton Stick to Ben Ellefson, 8th touchdown of the season, only his 13th catch. Kevin, DJ, and Cole at the second half coming up.
I am an Instagram boyfriend, but now that rolled chicken tacos are back at Taco Bell,
Sun's had heart hands.
my hands are tied. Let's just enjoy this moment.
Take the picture.
Rolled chicken tacos are back with your choice of dips, only at Taco Bell.
It can seem unreachable at first. The bar too high, shoes too big. You'll take leaps of faith and fall on your face, but you'll get up. Hard work is 50 sprints before breakfast and another 50 for breakfast. You'll eat it, breathe it, sleep it. The Goodyear blimp doesn't show up for just anybody, so don't be just anybody. Be blimp-worthy. Goodyear, more driven.
Hey, Joy.
Hello, Thomas.
Hey, what's the worst part about paying for things you don't want?
Paying.
Exactly. And what's the best part about getting things you do want for free?
Free stuff.
Precisely. That's why Verizon decided everyone in the family should get the unlimited they want without paying for things they don't, and why it now comes with 6 months of free Apple Music.
I like music.
Hey, look at that. I like popcorn.
Oh, didn't even ask. How dare you?
This holiday, get the gift you want, the music you love, on the network you deserve. Switch now and get $300 off our best iPhones.
Pain cream. Honey, you smell just like my Walter used to.
Don't smell like Walter. Aspercream is odor-free for maximum pain relief without that Walter smell. Aspercream. No pain, no odor.
On a tense Fansville by Dr. Pepper.
What is it? It's the new neighbors, Sheriff. The referees. Holy Tuscaloosa.
We don't need their whistles keeping us up at night.
Look, they're putting up replay cameras. I can't do it.
Who's making the calls here, Sheriff?
I'm out. Maybe we should give him a chance. Hey, neighbor. Welcome to Fansville.
Offsides.
That wasn't very neighborly.
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
Welcome back to coverage of the NCAA Division I football championships. Coach K, please stay, is the plea from the gold and green clad faithful. They don't want Chris Kleiman to go anywhere. They want him to stay right here and keep on winning championships. North Dakota State up 14 at the half over Colgate. The winner of this game gets Kennesaw State, who's ranked second in the country but seeded fourth, or South Dakota State. Possible we could get a Dakota showdown, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. There are 30 minutes of football here. Kevin Brown, DJ Shockley. We'll hear from Cole Kubelik shortly. Colgate wanted to keep this a game throughout the first quarter of the first half. It's a two-score game, but North Dakota State has been terrific defensively.
Yeah, they've done a great job of bending, not breaking. Had some opportune things happen for them, but this North Dakota State has been so efficient, especially with what they're doing. And you talk about the offensive side of the ball, Easton Stick has been so efficient. Look at 7 completions to 7 different receivers. He has done a great job of distributing the football and giving everybody an opportunity to be a part of this ball game. And once they get in space, they do a lot of great things with it. Couple big backs here that come out the backfield. They can run, they can catch, and that makes it even tougher on this Colgate. And then you get Elam sitting right here in the end zone for a touchdown late in that second quarter. He has been efficient, and is the reason why his Bison are up 14-0.
Colgate will kick. Raiders won the toss and chose to receive. We thought they might defer. They chose to receive. So North Dakota State will start with the ball in the second half. Winners of an FCS high 18 in a row. And on the kick, the Colgate kicker there, Peterson slipped, setting up a shorter return for Brooks. And he gets out to the 30. Let's check in now with Cole Kubelik. Cole.
Hey guys, spoke to Colgate head football coach Dan Hunt on his way back out to the second half. He said he's happy with his defense. A couple of missed tackles that gave up a few big plays that he doesn't like. And said offensively, every time they've tried to take a shot, they've had a tackle for loss and gotten behind the sticks. He said surviving this first possession, still being down 2 scores, will allow them to begin to take a few more shots in the second half. That is critical for this football team.
They'll start defensively from the 30. The kick, by the way, from Chris Puzzy, the Colgate kicker who did slip. Tilting the field. We've been keeping track about this, DJ. That's not that great. Oh,
it
26.
is not. You have to really control all 3 of those categories, and they have not yet.
Stick 7 completions to 7 receivers, and this is a first catch for Christian Watson. Make it 8 for 8. Watson, the redshirt freshman out of Tampa, with his 7th grab of the year, a gain of 15.
And Stick talks about Watson now. He's a guy last week, he said he saw tons of confidence when he caught the football, made a turn and make some guys miss. Another guy you add to it now, an 8th different receiver catching the football. Stick is beginning to see the field at such a high level.
The running back is Anderson. Anderson through a crease. Picking his way across midfield, Abu Garami Suare with a tackle after a gain of 6.
DJ, you mentioned those 8 different receivers with receptions. I'll go to my grave believing that balance is the most difficult thing to defend in football. Now 122 pass yards for North Dakota State in this game, 105 rush yards for North Dakota State in this game. Not only spreading the football around through the air, but obviously staying very close to 50-50 on the ground and through the air.
Well, it forces Colgate for sure to not load up on the box, so they have to play coverage as well. But balance is so hard to stop when you have an offense that can be this efficient.
Stick goes under center, gives it to Seth Wilson, who has missed most of the year with injuries. John Steffen in the backfield to blow that up. Maybe a loss of a half yard.
John Steffen is a guy who defensive coordinator Paul Schaefer talked about. They put a lot of stress on him in his defense because, for one, he has to do a great job of securing the edge, but also he has to be one of those guys that fills the gap when they love to get downhill for North Dakota State. He did a great job of it there, forcing a big 3rd down here.
Colgate defense that has allowed 49 points in 10 FCS games before today. 5 shutouts to tie a record. Stick on 3rd down all day to throw, and a wide open Freeman. Down is Freeman with his 2nd catch across the 30 down to the 26. Ring up 23 yards for the Bison.
Well, Colgate was completely lost on this play. A lot of guys in man coverage, but he had a couple different players that were open. Give this offensive line enough credit. Look how many times he's able to go through his different progressions and finally get to that corner route. This offensive line is doing a great job of fronting the run game, but also giving Stick time to get to his 2nd and 3rd progression when throwing the football.
So Freeman was the first receiver to catch 2 balls, and now he's the first one with 2 receptions. Wilson shimmying down to the 20-yard line. Seth Wilson is maybe the 4th or 5th string back right now. He was great for them, DJ, at the end of the year last year. Has missed most of the season due to injury. But with his new redshirt rule, Wilson's only played in 1 game. So if they go to the title, he could still redshirt this year.
And that's what makes it even more dangerous. You're talking about 4 or 5 different backs that can come into a ball game and wear you down throughout. We talked about how good the offensive line has been, but having 4 or 5 backs who can wear you down throughout a ball game is a lot of stress on the defense.
Wilson in the backfield again, sandwiched. We've seen Seth Wilson. We've not seen Lance Dunn yet in this half, Cole.
Yeah, guys, the running back depth for North Dakota State's going to be big in the second half. Lance Dunn, we saw him go to the locker room just before the half. It's an elbow injury, and he has been ruled out to return to this football game, so we will not see number 10 in the backfield for the Bison for the rest of this football game.
Ran for 4 touchdowns last week, and there he is walking off.
Yeah, that's a huge loss for him. You're talking about Lance Dunn and Bruce Anderson, both guys over 2,000 yards in their career. Not having them on the field is a big deal, but that's why you have extreme depth if you're North Dakota State.
Stick zings it right through the heart of the Colgate defense for a first down to the tight end, Nate Jensen.
I want you to just watch the head and the eyes of Easton Stick on this particular play. He wants to throw it left. Now look at his eyes, take him back to the middle, come back to his third read, and does a great job of delivering the football. You can see the calm, the poise that he has inside the pocket. This is why he is going to be just as beloved as Carson Wentz once he leaves here, because of what he has done for this program and the comfort level he has inside the pocket.
46-3 again is the record. 2 shy of the FCS record for wins by a quarterback. And he just threw a touchdown to Darius Shepard. 7th touchdown catch for Shepard this year. And the Bison march down the field in the opening drive of the second half.
If you're North Dakota State, this is exactly how you draw up coming out of the halftime. Putting together a solid drive here. Look at it, put the ball in the pocket of the running back, sucks up that linebacker, and you get the great release by Shepard and makes it an easy pitch and catch for a touchdown.
Those two are roommates, Stick and Shepard. They connect again. 7th touchdown for Darius Shepard this year. 3-score lead for NDSU.
She's the one for you. When you know, you just know.
Love is her.
Love is him.
Love is us.
The Vera Wang Love Collection, designed for Zales, the diamond store.
Lowe's knows you're a craftsman guy. You have a lot of tools. Tools for everything you've done around the house. But there's the moment you realize your new project means new tools. When tool guys need new tools, they start with Lowe's, the new home of craftsmen. Shop Lowe's and get a Craftsman 20-volt cordless drill for $69.
The most magical time of the season to me is Toyotathon, with great deals on Tacoma, RAV4, even the awesome Camry. For you and your family.
Hi!
So, how can I help?
Toyotathon is on. Now's the time to get great year-end savings on our most popular models. But don't miss out. Offers end January 2nd. To learn more about all our great deals, visit Toyota.com.
Here's your key.
So how does...
Magic.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Courtney Messingham and his marvelous mustache. I thought you were going to circle the stash.
Only if I could grow one like that. Maybe only you and Cole can get those type of mustaches.
Okay. 8 plays, 70 yards, the scoring drive for North Dakota State. Clearly, you've never seen me try to grow facial hair, but I appreciate the effort. 21-0, the offensive coordinator of the Bison. Quite content with the way Easton Stick is playing right now. 8 completions in a row for their all-world quarterback. ESPN's coverage of the FCS Championship continues next weekend with semifinal coverage Friday night and Saturday on ESPN2. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your official online home for all 90 NCAA championships.
You know, Kev, I think Cole talked about coming out of this second half defensively, having to survive that first drive. I think it goes just as much as well on the offensive side as well. You got to put a couple first downs together on this drive.
How do you do that?
You got to be good on first down right here. This is a critical play to start the drive.
And Brenneman will throw it, complete it on a low catch, and a good open field tackle made on Nick Martinson. Jabril Cox got the stop, the defensive player of the year in the Missouri Valley Football Conference.
Oh, you just watch this North Dakota State defense string this all the way out. They got it blocked on the outside. Doesn't get the guy down on the outside, which is Jabril Cox, fighting off a blocker and making the play.
Former high school quarterback, and boy, are there a lot of those on this Matt Entz defense. Brenneman pressured. up for grabs and incomplete. Biscalio was the intended target. Now, Cole Jabril Cox made that last play, former high school quarterback. And when we talked to Matt Entz yesterday, he loves the idea of getting quarterbacks on his defense.
Well, it's not just Matt Entz. DJ and I talked to Coach Kleinman on the field before the game, and I asked him, how many high school quarterbacks do you have on your football team not playing quarterback? And he said, man, at least 6. He said 4 on defense, 3 that are starters. He actually has 2 offensive linemen that played quarterback in high school. Well,